Alright guys, just a quick update on the red M3. I'm still sorting out the fuel pump issue, but I finally found it. Last time I was doing video, I was telling you guys about the fuel pump relay holder not being wired correctly. And this time I went through the pinout again and I found that, yeah, the fuel pump relay is not even grounded. So I'm not sure how this thing was running before, but right now if I key it off and I hold the blue relay, and I wait for it to click off, I turn the key on, I hear it prime, and it will fire up. But just wait for it. It'll go full lean and it'll die out. You can see it right now losing fuel. And there it dies. But if I take this ground, and I ground it, and I'll let go of the ground for a second. See it's starting to go lean. Here, I'll catch it. I plug the ground back on. And it stays running. So, at this point, I'm just gonna add a little eyelet to that ground, bolt it onto the ground point for the ECU, and she should be good to go. But glad I finally found out what the issue was, and it's a really, really stupid problem, but at least it's solved. She drove back down under her own power, no problem, so that's fixed. Good. Now, turning our attention back over to the 76 Mercedes 240D M117 for a couple reasons. One, you guys are pestering me for more videos on this thing, which is weird. So I get that it's an interesting car, but you've pretty much seen everything about it now. And two, I'm actually taking it to a local show called Autoleben, and it's kind of a big BMW year because it's their 100th anniversary or something, I don't know. But even though I've got nice BMWs, I'm kind of a weird dude, so I'll take this crappy old Mercedes instead. But I'm going to take it upstairs and actually start working probably on throttle position sensor. Still, we're getting an erroneous reading there. I might work on wiring in the idle control circuit, like I did on that turbo BMW e30 just a little bit ago. It has the right valve on it and everything should work. There's a lot more tweaking I can do to get this car to run a little bit better on the street. And then also I'm potentially, depending on how hard it is, taking the springs out and cutting a coil or two off just to lower it a little bit, because I'm going to put the 16s back on it for the car show. It just looks a little bit better. So I'm going to take the dehumidifier off the roof, start her up, take her upstairs, and we'll see what ends up happening today. At very least, we'll move it around a little bit, but hopefully get a lot done. Couple of tools to move, looks like. Good, the tuning laptop's in here. Gonna need that a lot today. Hard to back up with manual steering and brakes and a slippery floor and not kill it, not crash into anything. Yeah, hoping to fix a lot of that really low idle with that idle control valve and the electronics once I actually get it all wired in. The engine computer, you have a couple different options. The one I do is it goes on coolant temperature, and you can actually adjust it with a graph. So when it's cold started, you can let a lot of air in, and when it's hot, you can let basically none in. Right now the valve is in there, but it's not hooked up to anything, so it's only about maybe a quarter of the way open. So on cold start, you use a lot more air to idle. That's why it's so low and barely idles when it's this cold. I'd have to open up the Megasquirt to see what that is, but I'm pretty sure we're at like 250 or 300 RPM. That sounds great. That's how the car got its license plate and its name. It blubs. Looks like I gotta move some stuff off the lift real quick. Sorry for not putting out a video on the weekend. I know. I did go ahead and take a coil out of each corner of this thing. The rear I think sits pretty well. The front's actually been settling, and I don't mind how it looks, but I think I gotta go another quarter coil on the front probably. I don't know, it's tricky. If it settles down much more, I think we might have overdone it, but right now I think the rear end sits pretty much perfect. So at this point there's still no rear shocks in it at all. Let's see one right here. So I'm gonna throw the rear shocks back in first, and then probably we'll see. I'll either take it around the block, see how it settles a little bit more, and see if I like it, and if it's fine then leave it. Otherwise bring it back in, rip the front wheels off, rip the shocks out, and cut another quarter coil off of this thing. In addition to that, we actually bought a new battery for it. It's another H8 AGM. That's just like the one I put in my 850 about a couple weeks ago. Did a short video of for you guys. We were sick of this boat battery, which we bought for it in 2014, dying and kind of leaving the car stranded. The computer is pretty picky about cranking voltage, so hopefully we have solved that problem once and for all. This Klon spring compressor, the real Mercedes one that slips up inside the coils, indispensable. This job is not doable without that piece of equipment. So I'm gonna eat my terrible food real quick and then get this thing going again. Well, I got her all loaded up with crap. Rear shocks are bolted back in, so at least take it downstairs, unload some stuff. Assuming it all still starts and runs. Got some tools to leave here. All right. I really can't see anything back there. Baby, way harder to steer with these big meaty tires. Totally forgot about that. goodness, she barely idles. And I see smoke coming from under the hood. That's probably good, right? Alright, in order to 3-point back up there, I do have to shut off the video now. So I'll come back to it. She's really dragging ass with that load. So I already have it out. It'd be silly not to take it for at least a little drive. Since of everything I own, this car is apparently your guys' favorite. Here we are. Oh, we're still at 500 RPM. That's not bad at all. So go ahead and buckle up real quick. Sorry, the strap is being a little loosey-goosey. Is noticeably lower from the driver's seat. It's really cool. I still have some analog input issues with this. It's still not really getting a throttle position signal at all, actually. It's reading 0.0, so that's unfortunate, but it runs surprisingly well, all things considered. I just want to make sure it stays running well enough to get to that car show that we're bringing it to at the end of this month here. Back away for storage until the 31st. I think that's when the show is.